Have you ever walked away from someone who took you for granted and suddenly they couldn't stop thinking about you? There's a moment, a specific moment, when someone realizes you're actually gone. Not just physically, but emotionally. You've detached. You've moved on. And in that moment, something powerful happens in their mind. Today, I'm going to reveal exactly what happens in someone's psychology when you walk away. Not as a manipulation tactic, but as a way to understand the profound impact your presence and absence has on others. Stay with me for the next few minutes because what I'm about to share might completely change how you handle your relationships, your self-worth, and your personal boundaries forever. When you've been a constant in someone's life, whether as a partner, friend, or even a reliable coworker, and you suddenly remove yourself from the equation, the first thing they experience is shock. It's like when you've been sitting in a room with a ticking clock. You don't notice the sound anymore because your brain has filtered it out. But the moment that ticking stops, the silence is deafening. That's what happens when you walk away. You're the ticking clock they didn't appreciate until the room went silent. This initial shock creates a pattern interrupt in their brain. All the assumptions they had about you and your relationship suddenly collapse. They can no longer predict what happens next, and humans hate unpredictability. We're wired to seek certainty. Nature abhors a vacuum. When you remove yourself from someone's life, you create an emotional vacuum that demands to be filled. The space you occupied, your energy, your attention, your support, suddenly becomes glaringly empty. And here's what's fascinating. The larger your presence was in their life, the more noticeable your absence becomes. Even if they took you for granted, your absence forces them to confront just how much they relied on you. The conversations they can no longer have, the support that's no longer available, the love they can no longer access whenever they want. This vacuum triggers something psychologists call the scarcity principle. We value what's scarce. When your presence becomes scarce, your value in their mind often skyrockets. Next comes the mental replay. When you walk away, people don't just miss your presence. They begin to obsessively review the relationship. Their brain starts cataloging memories, searching for signs they missed, trying to pinpoint where things went wrong. They remember the good times more vividly than the bad, a psychological phenomenon known as rosy retrospection. Moments they overlooked before now become highlighted in their memory. The time you stayed up all night helping them prepare for a presentation, the birthday gift that showed how well you understood them, the unwavering support you provided during their darkest hour. These memories take on new significance because they are now colored by loss. Here's something profound that happens when you walk away. You force the other person to confront their identity. We build our identities partly through our relationships. When you were in this person's life, they saw themselves through the lens of your relationship as someone worthy of your time, attention, and care. When you walk away, especially if you do it from a place of self-respect rather than manipulation, you create an identity crisis for them. They're forced to ask, who am I if this person no longer wants me in their life? What does that say about me? This identity shift is uncomfortable but powerful. It often leads to the next phase. When you walk away with dignity, not as a game, but as a genuine act of self-respect, something remarkable happens in the other person's value system. They begin to recalculate your worth. Think about it. We often value things based on how others value them. When you demonstrate that you value yourself enough to walk away from a situation that doesn't serve you, you inadvertently cause others to reassess your value. This is why walking away often leads to people suddenly fighting for your attention when they barely noticed you before. Here's a truth that might be hard to hear. Sometimes walking away is the only way to gain someone's respect. When you stay in situations where you're undervalued, you inadvertently teach others that it's acceptable to treat you that way. But when you walk away, you demonstrate self-respect that demands reciprocal respect. This creates what I call the respect paradox. To be valued by certain people, you must be willing to leave them behind. The paradox is that your willingness to lose the relationship becomes the very thing that might save it, but only if that's still what you want. The most powerful position you can occupy in any relationship is the position of choice. When you walk away, you reclaim your power to choose. You're no longer accepting whatever treatment comes your way. You're no longer hoping things will change while doing nothing different. You're actively choosing what you will and won't accept in your life. This freedom is intoxicating. It transforms you, and that transformation is often visible to the person you walked away from. They don't just see your absence, they see your growth, your increased confidence, your renewed energy. And that vision often creates the most powerful feeling of all, regret. Walking away isn't about revenge. It's about self-respect and setting firm boundaries. By leaving situations that shrink you, you make space for ones that uplift you. You teach others how to treat you, And sometimes they realize your worth too late. But that's not the point. The real power of walking away lies in what it gives you: clarity, courage, and a stronger sense of self. It's not about who misses you, it's about who you become. That transformation makes walking away a powerful act of growth. If this message spoke to you, hit subscribe and join our journey of authentic growth. Remember, sometimes the bravest thing is to walk away and walk toward what you truly deserve.